What's up, guys? Welcome back to more Reddit stories about Karens, crazy people, and all that kind of stuff. As usual, we got some more Reddit posts to check out today, so be sure to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments and let's get right into it. My cousin gave himself gout to spite me. Over the past few years, I've been cleaning up my diet and trying to live a healthier life. While I'm not a vegetarian, I have completely cut out pork and only have steak on my birthday and on vacation. Other than that, I eat white meat and a lot of vegetables. It's gotten to the point that many of my favorite meals are vegetarian. About 2 years ago, my wife and I met up with a cousin that I used to be close with, but have drifted apart from over the past couple of years. We went to a restaurant and I ordered a vegetarian dish. You might think, so what? And so did I. I literally just ordered it because it looked good. But apparently, to my cousin, this was basically an assault on his entire belief system. He made several comments about it during dinner, and the whole mood just shifted. After that, he went out of his way to avoid vegetables just to spite me. Like, the dude would send me pictures of nothing but meat on a plate just to, I don't even know, get a rise out of me or something. He also brought it up to several other family members, saying that college has changed me. The whole thing really didn't make sense to me since, again, I'm not a vegetarian, I just eat a lot of vegetables. I only talked to him maybe once or twice after the incident because it was really weird. And both times he made sure to bring up how he doesn't eat any vegetables at all. Well, we're now at about the 2-year anniversary of this incident, and I just heard through the grapevine that my cousin has gout. Worst part is that he works in a warehouse, so he's completely unable to work while dealing with this. I do genuinely feel bad for the man, but also this whole thing is a bit ridiculous. I haven't even talked to him in over a year at this point, other than the occasional Snapchat he sends me of all his meat dinners. And TLDR on what gout is, if you don't know, it's a type of arthritis in the joints from a uric acid buildup, which apparently forms sharp needle-like crystals in the joints. It's apparently pretty painful. And one of the causes of this uric acid buildup is, you guessed it, eating too much red meat. It's honestly amusing that OP's cousin would go out of his way to do something like this. I imagine he probably already didn't have the best diet to begin with before this, but judging from the post, it's almost like he just went full-blown meat-tarian after this encounter with OP. Like he was so passionately angry about someone else's diet that he just changed his own diet to the complete opposite, and just ended up with a painful condition. He sure showed OP, didn't he? Punishing me for underperforming for 1 day in 2 years? No problem. I work at a company where I handle mid to high level complaints to managers, PR, and legal. My daily requirement is 40 cases handled per day. There are some of my team colleagues that struggle with this, but I don't, and I don't feel lazy to stop at 40, so I've handled 50 to 55 basically every day for the past 2 years. There is no bonus or even recognition for this. I just did it because I felt a friendly obligation to the company. Complaints can be a 5-minute resolution or a 2-hour Zoom call with our New York lawyers. It's a gamble, really. Recently, I had a day where I felt a bit sick, and at the same time had bad luck of getting only very hard cases that required more time, so I had 39 cases, one under the requirement. I thought nothing of it as my weekly average was way off the charts, 50 plus as usual. The very next day, I felt better and went back to my usual high numbers. Come Monday, I had an emergency one-on-one with my manager, where I was informed that I had to attend a 3-day workshop/seminar on how to best meet requirements, because I underperformed last week. My jaw dropped, and I asked, don't they count the weekly, monthly, yearly numbers? To which I was told that the daily requirement is 40, and this is standard practice, nothing we can do. Basically, it was a workshop for underperformers who had 20 to 30 out of 40 cases daily. It was nothing hard, but I did need to drive there for 3 days after work and listen to HR guys giving bad advice, as they never actually handled the cases in real life. And I had to talk about what will I do to improve my numbers and reach the 40, as the nonsense HR talk calls it. This made me lose hours and hours of my free time, and I was livid. After it was over, I had a long think and I decided that I will do exactly that. I will reach the 40, and that's it. For the past few months I go into work, I handle 40 cases, my daily requirement, and then I do nothing for the rest of my shift. I have had multiple one-on-ones with my manager during this time, and I'm constantly asked, is something wrong? To which I naively reply, no, am I in trouble? Am I underperforming? And then of course they say that I am 100% within my daily requirements, and that way I shut the conversation down. This is real life, so I can't really say a clever comeback or something like that, but I do keep playing the fool that has no idea what is wrong now. But I find satisfaction in knowing that they got used to my overachieving and are now suffering for the lack of it. Before Easter, they put up an internal ad for promoting another 2 managers, so my guess is how that is the number of people they will now need to pay extra, just because they lost me as an overachiever, and they lost me for no reason other than their own stupidity. I just got home to find a car parked on my drive plugged into my car charger. As the title says, I'm just back from a weekend getaway, and when we got home, we found a car on our drive plugged into our car charger. The outside gates have been opened to allow access, and the car seems to have been there for less than an hour and is on about 8% according to the charger. I've switched the charger off at the wall, so no more free electricity for them, and their charger cable is now locked to the box. Default behavior when there is no power, and lock the gates shut. Do I report this to the police as theft? And what will they do? I know if they want to leave, I must release the gates. I've locked them to make sure they don't try to drive off. Can I leave the power off on the charger and hold the charging cable to ransom, assuming they can disconnect when there is no power? Update. The car was still there when I left for work this morning. According to the 2 cameras, the owner returned at about 23:50. But after checking the locked gate and the charger, left without ringing the doorbell. I got a call this morning from my neighbors telling me that someone was using a cutting tool on the gate and that they had called the police. I went home and found the police, my neighbor, and the car's owner on my drive. He was in his late 50s and seemed to be some sort of businessman. He told the police he had been staying at the hotel just around the corner, and that one of the hotel staff had told him there was a charger in my drive he could use. Our house was empty for 6 months prior to us moving in, so perhaps they had been using it for guests for some time. The owner was very upset that I had locked them in, but the police kept everything calm. On inspection, they had already damaged the charger to retrieve their cable, and even though they denied this, it was clear from the dog cam footage that they did it. They had also damaged the gate quite badly while trying to open it. Upshot is that they were arrested for criminal damage to the gate and charger, and the police are arranging for their car to be removed as it has no charge, so it cannot be driven off. I'm off to have a serious conversation with the hotel manager and chase up the new charger as ours is now broken. And a comment here says, wow, was the man in any way, shape, or form apologetic to you? Also, what an absolute idiot to just accept the word of the hotel to park on a random driveway and steal electricity from a private residence. NOP responds no apology, but he'd already been arrested at that point, so was off the scale annoyed. Another comment says, I think if we zoom out on this a bit, what person parks on a person's drive to charge their car just because a random staff member tells them to? And someone responds to that saying, the kind of person that when they found the gate locked when they thought they were using facilities by a legitimate arrangement, doesn't contact the house or ask the hotel to sort it out, but instead comes back equipped to break the gate open and removes their cable by force, i.e. someone who is lying about the believing they had permission to use it. Yeah, this commenter makes a good point that other people seem to be overlooking. Just because this dude said that the hotel had given him permission to do it, why would you just take that at face value? Especially because he had already been arrested at that point when he said that. He's probably just making stuff up on the spot because he was caught. If he actually was told by the hotel that they have an arrangement to charge electric vehicles at this house, he wouldn't have come back with tools to break his car out. I think the guy just found the nearest house with an electric charger and decided, yeah, we'll use that. And when he came back to find that his car was stuck and the only way to get it out would be to confront the owner of the house, he knew he was doing something wrong, so he resorted to breaking the equipment to get his car back instead. That's what I think. I once worked for a money laundering front company and didn't even know it. Remember in Breaking Bad and Ozark when they set up businesses like the gas station and casino solely to launder money? About 6 years ago, I was hired at a tech startup in the USA. I was technically hired as a 1099 contractor. Almost everyone was, so I was never an actual employee. I would say there was around 30 people in the office total, but it was a gray area and I was expected to work and show up, etc. The startup had a beautiful office in downtown, penthouse suite style. We always had free food in the kitchen and a free masseuse that would come to the office. My paycheck was very good, Not amazing, but I was more than comfortable and paid more than average. Very quickly, I started to realize that things felt off. No one seemed to really work, although everyone appeared to look busy. It was almost like everyone just pretended to look busy. Then I started to notice that no one ever cared about my sales numbers or goals, which in hindsight was a huge red flag. They also never really cared if anyone was at the office or not. Yes, I'm a 1099 employee, but they literally never asked me about my sales numbers ever. One day they pulled me into the office and gave me a raise. I literally had done barely anything. I had sold almost nothing yet. It was bizarre. Yes, this might sound like a dream job, but it felt strange and off, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Finally, a new sales manager got hired, and after 3 weeks, we went out for coffee. He explained he also got the weird feeling and started to look into the financial things a bit more. He found out that every month $300,000 went to some weird account in California. The account was named something arbitrary, like engineering or tech support, and the money going out to this strange account made no sense. This manager quit the company a couple days later. He told me things didn't feel right. A few weeks later, crap hit the fan. His investors found out they were laundering money and quickly got the authorities involved. This whole company was nothing more than a money laundering front. Overnight, the CEO went to jail. I have never seen or heard of him since, and the other C-level executives scattered. Basically, they just hired people to make it look like a legitimate business. Thankfully, because I was a 1099 and wasn't officially employed, nothing happened to me at all. I just moved on to another job. Edit. I know the details are vague, but I'm doing that on purpose as all of this is still in litigation. After reading everyone's responses, this is probably more of a combination of embezzlement, laundering, and misappropriating funds. I've never personally experienced anything like this again, but it was a crazy, weird situation, probably once in a lifetime. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. So take care, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one.